Hello Infernoble friends, so we're back again with another video, but this video is one of the most important I think for the Master Duel community, because in this video we are going to discuss which is the best Infernoble variant and why. We are going to analyze ratios, endboards, decklist, pros and cons, and try to be really analytical and not biased as much as possible. So anyways, let's begin. First, I'm going to show you, like, in the background, the combo of the standard variant. This is like the most well-known. It appears since the beginning of Master Duel. I don't think that the ban list changed it at all. And yeah, this is the typical 4 interruptions of just Isolde with good amount of follow-up, and it should be like pretty good endboard to beat almost any deck, especially because we get a hand rip, so we get to know where to use our two negates and 1 pop, at the same time ripping the best card that would allow them to break our board. So yeah, we have a good control of against any matchup, because we are Omni Negates works for back rows as well as combo, and then a quick effect pop, most of the time not being able to be targeted or even destroyed by card effects, like in this example. So yeah, if it's against like a set 5 pass, we are ripping 1, then we are popping 2, so they have 4 cards, and they still have to deal with 2 Omni Negates and another pop in our turn, and good amount of follow-up. So even if they like Ghost and Match Solemn strike our board, like we still have good follow-up. So, and this is also a pop in our turn. So what I'm trying to say is that this is a well-rounded end board. It works. That's why this has been the best Infernoble variant for a long time. And right now we have another contender. That's what we are here to discuss. If you didn't see this before, let me show you for the first time then. The Infernoble Brave variant is 60 cards. I tested a lot of ratios between 40 and 60, and trust me, 60 is the best for this, especially because in Master Duel we don't have a side deck. It's a best of 1, so that downside of not seeing your side deck too often is not happening here. This actually is just any draw, and yeah, we are using a spare holder because it has a lot of synergy, because as you saw in this replay, sorry if it went too fast, we were able to revive this with Black Garden and basically become this a Durendal, which means a Renaud. So this is like a power tool search. So in this variant, this has a higher ceiling, way higher, because what we do here is just this. If we have more extenders, at most we are doing like a Dolphin Rip. If we summon Dolphin of Isolde, and then maybe Gearfried, like if we like summon Ogier and then use summon Renaud, but that's not too often, not too common. Most of the time we are ending on this, which is good, like especially if the opponent hand trap us once or twice and they have less cards to work with. So yeah, this should be FTK in any board. And what about this board? Man, this is more oppressive, because we have a BFD and probably two of the best complements to BFD. If we can only have BFD plus something, we would want that something to be Herald. But if we can make it two interruptions, then it has to be Hand Knowledge and Hand Rip 1, and then Hand Omni Negate that pops. For sure, because what happens here, we smoke in the main phase. So if we see they are on a drop heavy deck, or just a hand that does not lose to BFD, we just keep Cloud Castle and Charles. So Cloud Castle says the opponent monster are not going to be able to attack, most likely. I mean the level monsters. That's not huge, but a something. And then we have a second rip. So against back row decks, we are hand ripping twice, and then we still have one Omni Negate, and then like, you know, pop and follow up. And the difference is that this is what we are going to do if we open like just connector as you saw, or if we open a lot of extenders. But here, if we open more extenders, we do a lot more. We can very easily have like a Brave Negate over here. With just one extra extender, if it's like a Fire Warrior or a level 3, we can have a Charles here. So instead of a smoke, a Charles that is going to smoke. That makes it more oppressive. Also, we could have like Crocodile for a second draw, or we could have Shen Shen as a free body next turn. So the possibilities here are way higher. And then yeah, we can also make Herald with more extenders. But just with this, we are FTKing any combo deck for sure. Because if they had like droplets, okay, Smoke gets rid of that. Then if they have like a challenge, he negates that, and if VFD resolve with Hang Knowledge, so we know what attribute to call, we are winning for sure. Next turn, this could get tagged out and summon like Charles again if you want that. Yeah, I know here we don't have as much follow up, but to be honest, this is way less likely to be broken than the other scenario. Yeah, you could have like an extra card in hand if you want to play instead of the second lion the 001, so you don't have to discard here. If we are doing a 3-zone combo, yeah, we need to summon Jet. But here we could have used 001 and achieve the same, and you could have the Isolde add. But for the most part, yeah, those are like the end boards. Now let's move on and talk about the decks. So here it is the 60 card deck that I talked you about, and as you saw, we are on double lion. So if we draw one, it's not the end of the world. We don't need to play Balmo, and it's really nice. Like we can normal summon this and full combo. We can have this in graveyard and summon this from Halki, and it accomplishes the same, being a tuner and a machine for Aurora Dawn. If we have one in hand, it can be an extender later on because we just use the graveyard effect. So yeah, it's nice. I mean, not what we want to draw, but it most likely is not going to be a hard break like Alwyn is. Yeah, so now we are comparing this to this. In this case, this is like the most competitive version out of all my testing, and I reached Diamond 1, so I think I had a pretty good result. I don't think you can change too much, maybe the 001 if you want to save one card, but trust me, for the most part you are going to do a 3-zone combo. Either you have Brave or you just have extenders on board, because as you see, this is full gas, like 3 of every good extender. And if we don't have to normal summon, then we can just normal summon the hand traps, and they are still like quote-unquote extenders. Yeah, so you see what can we do with the end board. This is like the most common stuff. And what else? Here we can play the Maxi Challenge because there are some cases where the opponent could have 20 cards in hand, but as long as we have Herald BFD, we are winning. Now, opposite to the 60 card, in the 40, we can play with the ratios. Because as you see here, I'm putting 2 Renaud to 1 Oliver. I'm doing this mainly to compare the ratios as similar as possible. What do I mean by this? That the ratios that I'm going to compare are how often are we going to draw 2 or 3 warriors, and here we play 35, and 1 or 2 hand wraps, and 1 maxi out. So we have 35 warriors, 12 hand traps, 8 maxi outs. Here we have 23 warriors, which in proportions, in percentages, is pretty similar to 35 and 60. We have 8 hand traps, which is pretty similar to 12. And here we have more maxi outs, so we have 7. And yeah, 7 is way more than here playing 8. So for the most part, I think that the best pro of playing 40 card variant it's not that much of having more follow-up in the end board. For me, the most impactful thing is having more maxi outs and being more likely to open maxi. Yeah, that's for me the biggest pro here. What else? Now, if we compare, okay, let's talk about the ratios. So, how often are we going to open at least 2 warriors? In the 40 card, 91%. Here, the same, 91%. How often are we going to open at least 3 warriors? Here, 66%. Here, 65%. So, clear similar, okay? Then how often are we opening 1 hand trap? Here 69% and here the same. 2 hand traps, here 26%, here the same. Okay, so this template is made to match the percentages. Now the maxi outs, of course, here we have 64% and here just 52%. So now this is not like the optimal 40 card build by any means. But there is a reason why I am putting 1 Oliver and just 2 renauds. So here, having renaud matters way more than in the 60 card variant. Because in the 60 card, okay, we utilize renaud thanks to spear holder, being a Durendal on legs. But if we don't have these available, if we had to use renaud early, it doesn't change too much, to be honest. I mean, we still end on BFD and with more extenders BFD Charles. Like with just any extra body. Yeah, but here on the other hand, if we don't have renaud, we are losing Savage and we are just ending on Charles Herald. And I mean, if we don't have this live, or if we open like, or if we don't have 3 Durendals for power tool. So yeah, most of the time, if we open one of these, or maybe 2 of these, we are not ending on the full board just by resolving. We are going to have to commit the extra pieces that we hard drew. And don't get me wrong, that's not necessarily bad, but I'm trying to say that the ceiling to achieve those 4 interruptions really require to have 3 Durendals and renaud in deck and search this of power tool. If we search this or power tool, or we had to summon renaud early, then yeah, the combo changes, and like I told you, maybe we can achieve the same, but utilizing resources in hand, just not only Isolde. But here, in the other hand, I don't think the combo gets that much hurt. And also here we have some free slice capability. I mean, way more freestyle, because we draw 1 of Coral, and in some combo lines we draw 2 of Crocodile Dragon, and that could change a lot. Sometimes we just hard draw a gear free there and just end on 1 more interruption. We can like hard draw maxi, and then we have the combo plus maxi, and that's huge. Sometimes we just draw, I don't know, Ash, and we just normal summon it because we didn't normal summon, and we can utilize pretty much any card as an extender. Yeah, so the difference in that case is that this combo is way more freestyle than this one. Here, if we have like extra bodies, at first people were like burning out the second Isolde or the Unicorn just to free up space to do the standard combo. Then we discovered some lines where we could have an extra body or maybe an early Roland and still end on the standard board, but not more, just the standard. Like I told you, here with more extenders we do more, because this is a 3-zone combo, so we can like have the extenders sitting there the entire combo until there is a moment where they are useful. Of course, that's more high skill, more big brain. Like you need to know the combo and know the trades. Like instead of Black Garden summoning this, if we have Durendal, this could summon Garden Rose, Connector into Dolphin, or Coral Dragon. So I think this is more complex, and it pays off. Like you get rewarded for playing a more complex combo than this one. Then about the ratios, oh yeah, I was going to tell you why one Oliver, two renaud. So that's the reason of why two renaud. Like we also have like hard open this is not good for the end board. And yeah, Oliver, I decided to put 1 because it's a -1, and here it is as well. But sometimes we're going to play open Brave, and man, Brave supports the strategy so much. Like if we have only 1 warrior, we get Fire Warrior. If we need to summon Oliver, we have a Draco back that gets to hand, gets to graveyard because of Griffon or Magicore, then gets equipped to the token, and then we can use it as cost for Oliver. And then we can banish it for Gearfried. So it supports these extenders, so these are like way more impactful, way more useful, and this not so much neg. And here the only way to Oliver like not being neg is like having Ogier or Oliver use as material for his soul, so we can use the graveyard effect. Yeah, and then again we can like just cost the soul add, because here we always cost the soul add for Jet Synchro, so maybe it's just a balance, maybe similar. So yeah, some people play 3. That's why here I put a side deck. So this build could change. You could play more extenders, and then you just sacrifice either hand traps or maxi outs. So this could be more consistent. On the other hand, this is you cannot make this more consistent. Maybe you would want to cut maybe 2 imperms, 2 nifs, try to play 50, but trust me, 60 is better, especially because we played Brave and Connector. So we just rather open one of these 2. And why do we play like this? Because yeah, most of the time we are not going to open both. So yeah, don't be worried. But even if you open both engines, you can play around with this, like use this to bait Ash, or if you have a lot of extenders, summon this and use this as discard fodder, then this banish to get this, and then you have the Jet discard. Yeah, going second, if you think they could negate activation, you just activate, right? They negate the activation, okay, you can still normal summon Connector and use the effect. Or they negate Connector summon, or they negate the activation of Connector, okay, then you can use right. So you can work with that. And in the worst case scenario, this is just as any other warrior. Like if you open Brave, you just need 2 warriors and you do full combo under Brave. If those 2 warriors are like Connector Flint, yeah, that works. Like you can always normal summon this. So my theory is play 60, so you don't mix them too often. But even if you mix them, I just explained you what to do in those cases. And here we have to play 40 because we can. Like there is no a big advantage of playing more than 40 here. So yeah, having more maxi outs is really impactful. I think that's good. But we have to evaluate the overall card quality. Like breaking boards. Here we only have 1 Gearfried. We would want maybe playing 3, but if we do that, we either go over 40 or we just sacrifice other cards. And like I told you, Gearfried is not too live here as opposite as here. Here, like any of the Brave cards is good. Like even going second, just faithful out something or bait something, or the Gearfrieds. So I think overall here we have a little bit more better of a card quality just because of this. Also because we can like use the renaud for the plus and not hurt too much in the end board. Then being able to OTK, like we play the same utility in both cases, Axco Unicorn here as well. But here we have Coral, and trust me, Coral comes up a lot. Like breaking boards, for example, an Empen. We just special summon this, use Durandal, get Renaud, summon Renaud in defense, get this again, make Coral in defense, cause this out something. If they out the Coral, you get a draw. And later on, it doesn't hurt. We just make Crocodile with Maiden token yet, and then Crocodile gets 2 draws, so it basically we still get 2 draws, and we don't miss Coral. We already have this in graveyard, so Maiden can just revive it. So it's fine. It's amazing. Like if we burn this early. Here we don't have something like that, and if we burn like Power Tool or Riser early, it hurts. Like being able to freestyle in this combo is way harder because we need to use like the 5 zones, and we need to use this like card by card. So I think going second, this build pays off more overall. Yeah, also because we have Brave, so we can out like Floodgates, back row, etc. Sometimes, I mean, it's only 5 cards, 6 with this to add back row. It's not gonna happen every time, but even then, if we like open Draco back, we can utilize it when we get to Auroradon or to All Lion. We get tokens, normal monsters. Renaud could grab this back. So yeah, there is some cute interactions to out stuff. What else? We talked about the end boards, like being more consistent, having more follow-up against having higher ceiling and being more big brain. We talked about the ratios. Like here, we could have a most consistent build if we add these cards. Here, we don't have that luxury. We just have to play it like this. And then, oh yeah, the side deck. So I add here like a droll because that's something cute. It's like an Ash because it outs Maxi in sense that they use it, they get 1 draw, or maybe they don't even get a draw. We use some search spell like Heritage and then activate, then chain the roll, and then yeah, they don't get any draw. We also don't do it, but guess what? This combo without any search is the same without Savage. Like burning this early, it just Charles R Herald smoke, and if they already -1 of Maxi, sometimes this is like enough. Or if we make this and also have like a hand trap. So what I'm trying to say is that droll is decent here, like as a maxi out. Also because Brave is in the format, so if you can use this just as a defensive hand trap, and it pays off. Here we cannot play droll, man. We search a lot. I mean, if we open, I mean, we can combo under droll. Don't get me wrong. At the very least, we make BFD if we have more extenders. The same, we could make BFD and Charles, or BFD and Fleur. But it hurts because we usually draw 1 or 2 of these. We would miss the Black Garden search unless we hard open it. We would miss, yeah, depending on what's our first search. If it is all add, then only that. If we started with Brave Search, then we also miss this all add. So it hurts, but we still get to an FTK sometimes. And but that's why I don't recommend playing droll here. But here it could be decent. So this is an option, just so you know. So for me, if you want to add more engine, just add these 3. Don't add Gear Fit. Then you would have to cut 3 non-engine and go from 12 to 9. And if you only play 9 cards here, of course 3 Ash, and then the other 6 could be 4 of these cards, and then maybe 1/1, or maybe it was just 3 because Imperms also outs back row, like, you know, because of the set effect. And here we don't have Brave, so playing 3 Imperm could be nice to not auto lose to back row. What else? Then having potential to OTK here sometimes it's easier because of 0/0/1. Like we just resolve this, summon call win, and then we can OTK. Here we have to juggle a little bit more, and we can do it, don't get me wrong. Like just Isolde ends on, if we want to make damage, ends on Auroradon, Isolde because we Black Garden revive Isolde, Coral and Charles, and that should be over 9k. 4, 7, yeah, 91. Yeah, so we can still make game, but not too early. We have to combo a little bit more. Yeah, I think I already explained a lot of things that you should compare. So the ratios can be similar, like I'm showing you here, but if you add more warriors, then this is more consistent, and then you lose more on the hand traps or beating maxi. I guess that's it. Well, in my honest opinion, trying not to be biased, I think for Master Tool this version is better, especially because it's best of one. Like I told you before, we don't have to side deck, so we have no worries of playing more than 40. And this is more well rounded against any matchup because we have 12 good hand wraps and just cards to break board like Brave or Gear Fritz, or renaud using them as +1 and then still doing a good end board, or stuff like early Coral Access. Yeah. Here I think is more narrow the chances, the possibilities that you can do. So I think this is better for a best of 3 where we have to side deck. So we value way more having just 40 cards. Yeah, that's also the experience of my duels. I have been dueling like one here, and sometimes, yeah, overall I feel this gets me the best results. But please try it yourself. Like I don't have like the final answer. I think you have to find your answer. And for me, my answer was to play this. Of course, any banlist could change it. But for now on, I think this is the most competitive way to play Master Duel. Best of 1. Yeah, I say it. Hope you like the video. If you want me to compare more stuff, or if you have any other Infernoble build that I am not looking into, please let me know. But for now, I think this is it. Here, please change the ratios. I would add this. I would add this 3, and then maybe keeping just, and then maybe taking out 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3. Yeah, some kind of combination between those. But I still want to have at least 2 crossouts, at least 2 maxis. Yeah, that's my advice if you want to play it here. Here, my advice is don't touch anything. Don't move it. It's perfect. I was debating for a while cutting Magikarp and cutting Ogier and putting 2 more hand traps. But yeah, you need them. It comes up a lot. So don't do it. And just enjoy it. And I know it's big brain if you want to utilize every resource and play it perfectly. So if you have any questions or what to do with XYZ hand, yeah, ask it and I will give you my feedback, my ideas. Yeah, for example, this is FTK, and it doesn't matter that you open connector and write. A worse hand like this, it's still FTK, because we have access to Magikarp, the Omni Negate, and then Isolde. Yeah. Here, for example, 3 hand traps, but going first, like at least we have combo. Yeah, so please try it. And if you have any opinion, use your opinion and compare it with your results. Yeah, so that's it. Goodbye. Have a good day, and like the video if you liked the video. See you in the next time.